What is up, Impact Heroes? Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Rick Ornelas. Thank you for spending some time with us today because we know time's a valuable resource and we're going to make it worth your while. I appreciate each and every one of you, not just for listening, but for who you are. I know you're sparking change to make the world a better place every day, and I am humbled and grateful for your efforts. It takes all of us doing our part to spread positive change, and that's what this show is all about. Motivating you with stories of struggle, courage, and hope to empower you to make a difference in your life and the lives of others. Hey, hero community. We are looking to feature more amazing social impact heroes on our show, and I'll bet all you listeners out there know a few that deserve to be recognized. If you or anyone you know should be on our radar, then you absolutely have to nominate them to be an iSpark Change social impact hero. Just click the link in the show notes below to help us find out about more people that are doing great things. What is up, Impact Heroes? Welcome back to the show. I'm very excited for another Social Impact Spotlight episode where we get to share about someone who is doing amazing things to spread positive change. If you follow us on Instagram, then you have seen that every week we highlight awesome people and their organizations that are making a difference in creating a better world. We amplify their message by sharing the incredible work they do on social media so others can learn how they spark change. Once per month, we share one of these spotlights on this podcast so you can learn about them and their work. We want to impact your day with positivity and inspiration. Today, we spotlight renowned brain coach and real-life superhero, Jim Kwik. Jim is the founder and CEO of Kwik Learning. He's a New York Times bestselling author of Limitless, awesome book, by the way. He's the founder of the speed reading and memory courses. He's a trainer, and he's the host of the #1 Kwik Brain Podcast. So not only is Jim considered a real-life superhero because of his incredible superpower of learning, but he's a hero to me because he literally changed my life for the better with just a few words. I came across Jim on Impact Theory with Tom Ballou back in 2017. I was scrolling through YouTube, looking for some motivation, and I came across this interview. And I was like, this looks pretty interesting. I'm going to check it out. Didn't know who Jim Kwik was at the time. Well, it was on that interview where Jim explained his morning routine and what you do not want to do in the morning. He said how it's detrimental for your brain to get on your phone first thing in the morning and to dive into your social media, go into your email. Well, guess what? That's exactly what I was doing back then. And I'm sure there's a bunch of you listening that do the same. Well, after hearing his explanation, I immediately changed my morning routine and eliminated those bad habits. Because when you flood your brain with that rush that it gets of different chemicals like dopamine, when you go right on your phone, it gives away, as he says, it gives away your power and your sovereignty for the day. And I realized I was doing that. I was losing focus. I was getting sidetracked into everyone else's wants and desires and not focused on my own. And so ever since then, I stopped opening up email. I stopped opening up social media or anything on my phone other than the Bible app to read my scripture and to journal my gratitude for at least the 2 hours. Usually I get up at 4:15. Usually I'm not looking at any of that stuff until like 8 a.m. So, going on 4 hours now. But this one thing that he suggestion has single-handedly had a huge impact on my peace, my calm, my focus, and the way I start my day. And I highly recommend it to anyone listening. But that introduced me to Jim back then, right? But I didn't really know the breadth of his work or all the things that he offered. And it wasn't until, a few years later, I followed him and I kept looking for a book, which came out in 2020, but his book Limitless, but I kept following him, and then I found out more of his story, which is amazing. So let's hear in his own words a little bit about Jim's story. So a childhood head injury at the age of 5 left Jim Kwik struggling in school. For a while, he believed he could never be as good as the other kids when it came to learning. He was slow, he barely survived in school, but he never stopped hoping for better. So years later, after barely getting into college and on the verge of flunking out, a mentor changed his life. It was actually the father of one of his friends from school. And the mentor introduced Jim to the idea that he could learn how to learn, that everything that was holding him back was between his ears, was in his head. So none of his college courses taught this, and he became obsessed with books and adult learning theory, neuroscience, brain performance, speed reading, and even ancient mnemonics. With that, a light switch flipped on for him, and he thought that everyone should know this powerful information. And his life's mission was born: to teach people the mindset, motivation, and methods that could move them from feeling disempowered to feeling limitless. And that's exactly what he did. And since then, he's gone on to work with celebrities and CEOs and executives and athletes and all sorts of individuals, as well as teach students and people like me. But his incredible story just goes to show all of us that you can accomplish anything that you put your mind to. And as Henry Ford said, if you believe you can or believe you can't, you're right, because it all starts right here in your head. And actually, I'd like to give credit to the original person that said that about 1,000 years earlier, and that's Confucius, when he said, the man who thinks he can and the man who thinks he can't are both correct. And it's true. If you decide, hey, I'm going to accomplish this, you will accomplish it. If before you even start, you say, oh no, I can't do that, there's no way I can do that, guess what? You're never going to be able to accomplish it. So start living limitless, as Jim says. And also, as he says, if you fight for your limitations, you get to keep them. So if you're always in that stinking thinking, that negative self-talk of telling yourself that you can't do things and that you're never going to be better at this, or you're not good with money, or you don't remember names, or whatever it is, you will keep those limitations. So stop fighting for your limitations and live limitless. That's what I've been working on for the past few years, and Jim's training has helped me immensely. I've read his book early last year. After it came out in 2020, I've taken his courses through Kwik Learning, through the Kwik Learning platform and the community, such as Kwik Reading, where I literally doubled my reading speed. I was already kind of a fast reader, but I doubled my reading speed. And it's helped me so much that this year alone, I've read 11 books, and my memory and comprehension has improved significantly. So I highly recommend his Kwik Learning platform, and I'll include links in the show notes at the end of the show. But for many of us, we have heroes in life, and it's very special when you get to meet one of your heroes. And I got that chance last year when I was in New York City for the Unfair Advantage live event that I participate in. I'm part of with the group coaching that I do. And Jim was actually the keynote speaker. So prior to him going on stage, I saw him spending some alone time looking out the windows, kind of looking at, looking on the city in New York City. And he was alone, but I said, I'm going to do it. So I went up to him, I introduced myself. I explained how he changed my life with that one interview on impact theory and that one recommendation he made. And I remember he was so humble and he was so gracious when I told him that made me respect him even more. I mean, it really humanized him that, yes, I do believe he's a real nice superhero with his capacity for learning. But he's a real person like you and me, and that just shows that any of us can learn. And he was even nice enough to take a picture of me, to take a picture with me. So, I continue to follow his work. I continue to learn from him, and you should too. Be sure to check it out. I know you won't be disappointed. You can follow him on social media. He just like I Spark Change, he does motivational and inspirational content on his Kwik Learning Instagram and on his Jim Kwik Instagram. So I urge you to follow those. So remember, Impact Heroes, it's our stories that connect us all. We hope you enjoyed learning about the real life superhero Jim Kwik as our social impact spotlight today. Remember, Impact Heroes, every positive action can be a spark moment that has a ripple effect that spreads far beyond the initial act. So go out there and spark change. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this episode, then please smash that 5-star rating on iTunes or Spotify and leave a review. We value your comments and we want to hear from you in the community. Thank you for listening. God bless you, and we'll see you next week on the I Spark Change podcast.